What have been the feelings of loyalist women throughout this period and at present indeed?
Well, really, I can only speak for myself. My feelings towards Mr. Rees is he doesn't really know very much about the situation, not living in Ulster, with the Ulster people, and I don't really think it's right that the IRA should be allowed to say when there's a ceasefire and when there's not a ceasefire.
Even if it means peace?
Even if it means peace, because sure, there has been happenings during the time of peace or ceasefire, whichever you like to call it. There has been a lot of people have taken advantage and gone into town, but I myself wouldn't.
Would you say you're typical of loyalist women in
Well,
Belfast?
I don't know. Everyone has their own views. There are some who probably did use it, but like I myself wouldn't.
Yeah, but throughout this last month, there has been, I mean, peace is a word that hasn't been mentioned for some time in Northern Ireland, but it has been in the last month. There have been hopes, there have been optimism. Have you been hopeful? Have you been optimistic?
Well, now, I'm not one for going into the town at all if the troubles are on. And when the ceasefire was on, I must have been in the town 2 or 3 times a week, because you really felt, you know, you were at ease, because once you get on the bus to go into the town, you have a fear that maybe there'll be a bomb in the first shop that you go to, or somebody will say, run quick, there's a bomb scare. But with the ceasefire, you just didn't have that, and you didn't mind queuing up to go into the barricades or anything.
Well, would you not hope for a continuation of the ceasefire?
Definitely, yes.
What reservations would you have about it?
Not on IRA policies.
No.
The only thing
definitely
about the IRA peacefire is they are quite content to have a peacefire as long as they're getting their way. But once anybody says, oh, we can't consider this, they just come out on the streets again. So therefore you really can't trust them. They have it as long as they're getting what they want, but then as soon as they don't, it's just up in arms again.
But the mood of the people is certainly for peace.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yes, we're all on peace.
So what would you settle for? What type of peace would you settle for?
The IRA will have to be finally crushed, completely, utterly, finished with.
Yes. By our army.
There's no such a
security
thing
forces.
as confidence in them in any way.
Isn't that a very hard-line position to take?
It may be. It may be.
Is that typical?
But it's our future.
Is that fairly typical of
Well,
women?
it's my, I don't know, I think so, because, well, we've lost all confidence.
But I wouldn't say it's only loyalists.
I think it's
this
all over.
way.
Norm,
I would think anybody that is a parent and has children to bring them up in a proper country and everything, schooling, their church, everything that they need, anybody that is a parent would want this, no matter whether they're Catholic or Protestant. And I have a lot of friends Catholics, and I would say they think the same way.
Well, what would you settle for at present? What do you think, Mr. Rees, what type of deal do you think he might be able to come up with?
don't really think the IRA are not going to be satisfied no matter what he comes up with. I mean, unless it's on their terms. So therefore, if he satisfies them, the loyalists aren't satisfied. So therefore, he's just going to have to get rid.
What would happen then?
Well, it would just be a civil war probably. The people,
Oh,
you know,
yes,
the loyalist people will come out. They'll not let them they've let them go so far. And
Would you support your men in a civil war in that
Yes, we would.
situation?
yes,
come
but
out
it
with
would
them.
have to be really extreme, you know. I mean, it wouldn't just be now, we'll just all go out onto the streets. But if it came to the point that he did actually give them everything that they want.
We would come out, definitely.
Would you answer me a question? Why does the IRA want peace now?
After so long.
Why did they want this truce? What's behind it?
You're suspicious, you're saying?
Yes, what's behind it? See, this is what's on our mind. There's something behind it.
You would be suspicious of any settlement that might come out?
They would have to prove themselves. This is something.
How would they do that?
Well, that's up to them. They knew how to start it.
Yes, indeed.
What will you settle for? What will you settle for?
Victory.
Well,
Complete
we'll-
victory. They can't. Ulster's ours.
They won't get it.
We want the
No,
British
no.
flag and nothing else.
There is no
No,
compromise.
no compromise.
None whatsoever.
We are British
No.
subjects and we'll die British subjects.
Nobody wants a bloodbath, mind
Nobody, no, we do. We want peace.
Nobody wants to see any
Definitely.
killing or anything like
Are
that.
you fearful that it might end in a bloodbath?
Well, if the IRA carry on the way they're doing, that's what it will end as.
What do you think, what type of support would you give to your men if the IRA started the bombing campaign again?
Well, we would just have to give them all the support we could.
We would be out in the streets with them.
Yes, most likely.
But if it came to a situation where you did feel you were sold out, what do you think would happen?
Well, I don't think we'd take it sitting down.
Oh no, definitely not.
I can assure you of that.
We're Ulster people, you know. We'll stay Ulster.
Have you got a message to Mr. Rees tonight?
Yes, no United Ireland.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
We're British. We're just as British as Mr. Rees.
And Mr. Rees really doesn't understand Ulster people.
At all.
It should be an Ulster man
Yes.
in Mr. Rees's place.
He has a
Somebody who has
very hard
lived through the
job.
trouble. Somebody who has lived through the trouble and has lost loved ones, remember. You go to a broken home the night where maybe a father's been killed or a mother's been killed or a child blown to bits and get their views on it.